We're good. We're live. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Community Roundtable here at Gumdalf Entertainment. My name is Bob Paparazzi, joined always by our gracious host, Gumdalf the Great. What is up, Vinny?
Not much, man. How you been?
Oh, great, Vinny. Great. It's
Yep.
warm. It's warm down here in Florida.
Yeah.
It's been a little while since we've done one of these, huh?
Yeah. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, Vinny's had to dig himself out of the snow.
Yeah,
That's what's been going.
7 days in a
That's
row.
been going. Rough. Well, Vinny, we're not the only ones here tonight. We got some newcomers to the booth.
Yep, we got 3 special guests tonight.
3 special guests that have never been on the Community Roundtable. We wrangled them together. We're like, if we're coming back, let's bring 3 new people. So, without further ado, we have Jesse. What's going on, Jesse?
Oh, not much.
Welcome to the Community Roundtable.
Yeah, good to be here.
We're going to ask you a bunch of questions about yourself and your video game tendencies, so hope you're ready for it.
As ready as I will be, I suppose.
Also joined with us, we also have Brittany. What's going on?
Hi, guys.
Brittany is a newcomer to the Community Roundtable and a newcomer to video games. Very, very cool. We're very excited to have you here.
Thank you. I'm nervous to be here.
No, don't be. Don't be. We're real cool guys. Real chill guys, you know? And then I feel like this man needs no introduction because he's always around the shop and hanging around Vinny. One of our good friends, Kevin. What's going on, Kevin?
Hey, Rick, Vinny, how you guys doing?
Good. I can't believe you've never been on the Community Roundtable. All these years of hanging around, you've never been on.
Because I'm a bum most of the time, so trying not to be a bum.
It's because I'm a fucking bum, man. I'm sorry.
You heard it first. We're trying to be unbum-like tonight.
Yeah.
Unbum yourself. Well, cool. Well, welcome, guys. So I don't know if Vinny really even told you kind of what the Community Roundtable is, but this is pretty much where we just get together and chat, almost like a podcast-esque style thing. It's real chill. Nothing too crazy. We're not gonna ask you any hard-hitting questions here, but I think one of the things that always brings us together is video games, and that's kind of what this community was built off of, right, Vinny?
That is correct. Sorry, my nieces just walked in the room.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. That's why there's 2 of us on the show, you know?
They're gone now. They gave me
we tag team it.
Some wonderful artwork they made. Just quite entertaining, actually.
Okay, very nice. Artistes running the family, I know.
Yeah. Maybe one day.
All right, Ben, you know what? Let's get started. I'm curious to know, first and foremost, before we get into the hard-hitting questions, what's everybody playing nowadays? What's been biding your time?
So right now I'm playing Wind Waker, like as we're speaking. I've kind of been going back through a bunch of old games and just like stuff I haven't played or stuff I really liked, and so I've just been doing them like one at a time, just kind of taking my time with them. A couple weeks ago I played Wario Land 4.
Wario Land 4?
Yeah.
That was a week ago.
Was it a week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on a chat with him while I was playing, so.
That's awesome. Now, have you ever played through Wind Waker?
No, and it's crazy because so I'm kind of
it is crazy.
Games. Yeah, there's a lot of Zelda games I haven't played, despite being a massive Zelda fan. It doesn't really make sense.
Nice, dude. I've never played through Wind Waker. I've always found that game, though, to be timeless in terms of its graphics and stuff like that. So if I ever have an opportunity, I will definitely play it.
I would definitely play the HD one, because I'm playing the one that was on the GameCube, and I kind of like looked up the comparisons, and it seems like the HD one's a little more better, I guess.
It's better in the sense that they cut out a lot of the tedious crap from the GameCube one. But
yeah, so like one big thing that's kind of very time consuming and not all that fun all the time is the sailing, because it just goes on and on.
Mm-hmm.
it's just really tedious, and sometimes they'll send you one place and it'll be like, oh, you actually have to go here, and it's like, why didn't you tell me that when I was all the way back there, you know?
I feel like that's how they lengthened games back in the day. You know, you were getting your hard-earned money. Let's do some tedious sailing.
You said you are playing the HD version, Kevin?
No, I'm playing the GameCube version.
Oh, you are playing the GameCube version. So you'll see later on, but there's a map deciphering thing you have to do later on that requires you to go back and like get a shit ton of rupees and like decipher a bunch of these maps for some. I won't spoil what they're for, but it's another thing that thing that I just mentioned is another thing that they completely cut out of the Wii U version. So it's a lot of like the tedious, time-consuming stuff that like people kind of complained about with Wind Waker. They did cut out. So I don't know. With Wind Waker, it's like I could take or leave either version, like to pick one to play, because I do like that they cut out all the tedious stuff, but I also originally played the GameCube one when it first came out, so that one, it's like there's like a little bit of a purist part of me that's like, well, I want to play the GameCube version because that's the way it was like intended to be played. But honestly, either or is fine, because like now that I'm older and I like, you know, trying to find time for games to begin with, you know, anytime somebody takes a bunch of tedious shit out of a game, I'm actually happy about it nowadays. So nowadays I'd probably play the Wii U one over the GameCube one, but
yeah, and that's the thing, like there's just so many games that I want to play, so when it comes down to this like tedious stuff that could, you know, easily be chopped out, it's just like, oh man, like I wish it wasn't there for just that reason.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Sorry, I'm really into my game.
That definitely happens. What are you playing nowadays?
I have been really playing the Avatar game, Pandora.
Ooh, I've heard good things about that. I just had somebody play through that said he loved it.
So good. I'm like obsessed with this game.
Were you a big fan of the movies? Is that what kind of got you to it?
Yeah. I was a huge fan of the movies. And it kind of drives my husband nuts. But I saw this, and I've never played like first shooter games before, ever. My most like invested game, I guess you could say, I played was Hogwarts Legacy. I put 210 hours into it. And I platinumed it, and so like that for me was like huge for my first like all-in video game. And then I saw this one and I was like, oh, that looks really cool. Like I like the style, and I like that it's like open world and stuff like that. And he was just like, I don't think you're gonna like it because it's fast-paced and first shooter, and I'm obsessed with it. Play it every night.
I love how sometimes games can grip you like that, you know? I think the last game that did that for me was A Plague's Tale. Where I'm just like, you know, awesome. I'm going to sit down and I just like rip through it in like 2 nights. Like putting in some hardcore hours, and it's like, dang. That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Jesse,
it's new.
What have you been playing?
Well, right when we started the chat, I just got done doing the new Astrobot level that just dropped today. So.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I was literally just doing, but as of like, I don't know. I'm kind of sporadic with games. I don't really play one game at a time. I kind of play like a bunch of stuff at once. But I guess the thing I'm currently replaying is Last of Us Part 2. I'm playing the remastered one because I just got an OLED TV, and I've had the PS5 Pro since launch, so
yeah,
I wanted to see it looks great. It's crazy. I love it a lot.
I know. When I was playing that game on the PS4, I was like, "Yeah, this is the best game, best looking game
Yeah.
on the PS4. Like, how can it get any better?" And then they on it done that.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing is that it's definitely cleaned up and it looks really sharp because it's pro enhanced and it's and you know obviously playing it on an OLED I got the best of what it can look like, and there's it's like better brightly lit and the colors stand out more and everything, but like for the most part it still doesn't look too much different from the PS4 version, so I guess most of the time I'm like, wow, this looks really good, but at the same time I'm still kind of mind blown that it was a PS4 game.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was in the last like 5 or 6 months of its life cycle, but still it was very impressive for it to be a PS4 game.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I definitely got to go and play that one as well. Did you guys see Days Gone's getting a remaster?
I did. Yeah.
I can't wait. I love that game. That game was so fun. That was another one that I really just kind of like sat down and ripped through. Just dropped 40 hours in it like it was nothing.
I was in the first 0.1% to platinum that game.
Really?
Yeah.
That game is so fun. It's a shame it never got a sequel.
Yeah. The only complaint I really have about that game is the story's a little too long, but...
Too long, you said?
Yeah, it's a little too long. It felt a little padded in some areas, but for the most part, I did enjoy it.
Definitely felt for the characters, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Deacon was just an asshole the entire time.
Yeah.
Days Gone.
Okay.
Awesome. It's like a zombie game, but you play as this like dickhead biker. I don't know. He just makes me laugh.
I did.
You get to like ride the bike and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's a whole story.
Oh,
It's open world. Sometimes they have like these crazy hordes that come out. You gotta just basically survive. It's actually really cool.
Yeah, the hordes are definitely the best part of that game.
Yeah.
Because that was another one that like really showed up like some impressive tech for the PS4 as well.
Yeah, like the Sawmill Horde.
Yeah.
Prepping for that, and I'm like, all right, here we go. This is gonna be the run.
Yeah. Well, for context for Kevin, the hordes of zombies in Days Gone would be literally hundreds of them chasing you.
Oh shit.
At once, in a straight line, just running for you.
And they're like 28 days later, like fast zombies.
Oh yeah.
So they're just
So
like on your shit all the time. You can.
Yeah. Usually the strategy is run through a train car and find some quick cover and turn around and shoot a bunch of them real quick. It's like I don't know if you're familiar with like Call of Duty zombies, but it's like farther like deeper in rounds where it's like aggressive amounts of them, and you're just kind of like running trains and then turning around and like shooting the hell out of them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. There were a couple though, like I remember there was like one in there was a horde of them in like a cave or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't really notice that there's a horde in there until it's too late.
Yeah. Sometimes you're just like wandering, and all of a sudden it's like you get your just jumped on, and you just all of a sudden it's like just survive. That's all you're just trying to do.
Yeah, because I remember that if I remember correctly, they're all just like chilling in the cave, sleeping like bats, and then you just like take a couple steps in and they're all chasing you out.
Yeah. So Kevin, they're coming out with a remastered version. So might be an opportunity for you to jump in, But I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. April, I think. April 25th, I want to say.
It's somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah.
It's also a free $10 upgrade if you have or get the PS4 version.
Yeah. Definitely a cool game. Yeah, Ben, what have you been playing?
Oh, Marvel Rivals still, and I beat the Lollipop Chainsaw remake.
Nice.
which was a lot of fun. The game is still really good. I will say though, Marvel Rivals, I still hate Spider-Man the most. They've made me hate my favorite Marvel superhero.
Why, you hate playing them or you hate playing against them?
Both.
Wait, why?
He's hard to play, and people that play him are generally really good. And the characters I play, he's the counter pick to the character.
Hmm.
Vinny, I just got the.
It's not as bad as Storm though. Storm is by far the most bullshit character in this game.
Vinny, I just got the Blood Knight Iron Man suit.
Yeah, I unlocked that last week.
That
I decided to do the
badass.
battle pass thing. Figured I played it enough.
Yeah, it looks so cool. My son will be happy about that one. Yeah, believe it or not, guys, I have been bouncing from game to game. I've been playing a lot of Rivals. Still playing MK1. But my new game right now that I'm just like, you know what, this is just a fun game to like jump in on and play. And it's got a lot of like adult references in it in terms of like cop drama. Is Lego City Undercover.
Oh shit!
That game is so fun, dude. It's so fun. Like there was a reference to the Matrix in it, and I'm just like, this is crazy. A reference to Shawshank Redemption. I was like, my son would never get this, but it's so funny that it's in here.
Lego games are like super good, and I never like think about it. Like, over around Christmas, I went through the Harry Potter Lego games, which it didn't take like super long, but I haven't watched Harry Potter in years, so it was a nice way to re-experience it for the first time in forever.
They're just fun. Fun games. Easy to play. That's the way I like to say it.
Yeah.
Easy to play games. So.
I think I've only ever finished one or two.
Yeah,
the first one I ever played was when they did the first Marvel Superheroes one, and you got to play as like every character, like so many characters, and I remember like sitting in my living room for hours just like going through every single one, like trying to see what they did.
Yeah, I've definitely played a lot of them. I think I've only finished one or two. I want to say one, because I just recently did the Horizon one. That's the only one I really finished.
The Horizon Lego.
Yeah, I just did that one a couple months ago when it came out, and then I guess if you count it, I've almost 100% at Lego Rock Band, but those are the only two I've ever.
I forgot about Lego Rock Band. That's
hey, it had some bangers.
Was it literally just like bricks coming down the track?
It was. Yeah, it was.
That's funny.
I feel like Fortnite should like do something with that, since they have like that Lego thing and the Rock Band thing in the game.
Yeah, that would make sense, I suppose.
Man. So, what games are you guys looking forward to? Brittany, I know you're new to games, but what games are you looking forward to? Anything that's interesting you right now?
Honestly, I haven't really been paying attention. But after I'm done with Avatar, I'm gonna try The Last of Us. My husband has talked me into it, so.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That Last of Us game, the first one, definitely made me shed a tear in the first like hour and a half.
That's what I hear.
Got me.
Everybody that's played it.
It really got me. Have you guys watched any of the Last of Us TV show?
Yeah.
So good.
Oh yeah. I think when they first came out, we watched them. Yeah.
Yeah, I was really impressed.
Day one.
What, every episode was available day one, or was it? I thought it was weekly.
It was every.
Well, every week that one dropped, we watched it immediately.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely a great show. The God of Thunder. What about you guys? What about Kevin? Anything else you're gonna be playing up next?
So as far as like things coming out, I don't have any. I'm not excited for anything right now, or I'm kind of also just like not paying attention, just because like like I said, I am going back through like some older games that I haven't played that I've always wanted to play. Yeah. Is there any Pokemon games on the horizon? That would be something.
Not currently announced, but there could be something announced next week because it's Pokemon Day. So
next week is?
Pokemon Day next week.
Yeah, the 27th.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they always do a Pokemon Direct, but I don't know why they don't just like announce it sooner because everybody knows it's gonna happen. But they won't announce the Pokemon Direct until like the day before. But there will be one.
Right. Yeah.
What are they up to right now? How many?
How many Pokemon are there now?
Yeah.
Over
1,000.
I think they're. I'm pretty sure they're on 1,024.
Holy shit.
Pretty sure.
1,164.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that many. No, it can't be that many. I think it's 1,024.
This says. Oh wait, that was an AI thing.
That's including like variants and stuff.
Yeah, I see that now.
Yeah, there's a 1,000. Oh, I was close. I was off by one. There's 1,025 because I forgot about Patchorant or whatever the name of that new mythical Pokemon is. I always forget about that Pokemon. 'Cause I never went through with getting it in Scarlet and Violet DLC.
Over 1,000 Pokemon. Started at humble beginnings with 151. Now here we are.
Yeah.
Over 1,000.
Yeah, it's crazy because I didn't think about it until I was talking to somebody else about Pokemon the other day, but they're probably announcing Gen 10. I forgot it's already this November will be 3 years since Scarlet and Violet came out. Time flew by. So they're probably announcing like the actual next new Pokemon game, or maybe they'll take an extra year this time because the only time it's taken longer than 3 years I think was like from like Diamond and Pearl to Black and White. So I mean they could take 4 years this time again, but I doubt it because like lately they've only been taking 3 years. So
if they could take 4 years and it makes a game that's because Scarlet and Violet, like I still didn't actually get through because like that was rough. Like in the beginning, I couldn't get through it. It was just very choppy and glitchy.
The last one I played was Shield. That was the last one I played.
That one's a lot of fun. That one takes a lot of crap, but like that was the game that got me back into Pokemon genuinely. Like I got that night and I probably played it for like I definitely woke like everyone went to bed. I watched everyone go to bed and everyone got up and I was still up playing it.
Still up playing it.
Yeah, that was what, like 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, 3.
yeah, I remember I completed the Pokedex in like the first like 4 or 5 days for that game.
You know what? That was kind of my reintroduction to Pokemon because I think prior to that, the last game I played through was like Fire Red. I think that was like it. So like jumping it, it was a long time. So when I was jumping back into it, I remember talking to Vinny. I'm like, I'm thinking about getting back into it. Which one should I get? He goes, why don't you start with either Sword or Shield? So I went to the shop and they had Shield, so I went and got that. But I do remember seeing one particular Pokemon, and I was like, this Pokemon is like badass looking. And it was Obstagoon. And I was like, man. I go, it's like a punk raccoon gooner. Like, this is so awesome. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, man, these are some cool looking Pokemon. And then I got to the one where it was like the bear with the like the runny nose. I'm like, what is this?
That's a Gen 5 Pokemon.
I was like, all right, whatever though. Like, this is still pretty cool. But yeah, I remember sitting down and playing through it all, and then I think Vinny and I ended up doing a couple like co-op battles or whatever. And
Yeah,
pretty,
the Giganta raids or whatever they were called.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So. Kevin, I gotta ask you big Zelda fan. What's your favorite Zelda game?
Tears of the Kingdom, for sure.
Ooh, wow,
Yeah,
really?
and that might be that might be controversial, but like, I feel like it was the first one that I was, because I actually didn't get into Zelda until like pretty late on, and then like
Yeah.
I didn't get Breath of the Wild. So that was probably in high school that I got into Zelda, and then like I didn't get Breath of the Wild until like it had already been out for like 3 years or something like that. So like
Mhm.
I was there like the night it came out. Like I did have to work the next day. Like I couldn't get out of work like I wanted to because somebody else already took off. But like I was at any time because we were slow, so I had
Mhm.
it. I had my Switch set up in my toolbox with my hands in my pockets, just like sitting in my chair, like looking like I was doing work, you know,
Yeah.
playing it all day. But yeah, it was the first one that I was like really there for, I guess, and actually, this last one, Echoes of Wisdom, same thing. I got it.
Ooh,
And
yeah, that's a good one.
did you play it?
Yeah, Echoes of Wisdom. Loved it.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, that one's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I played through that one. I just thought just I the whole take on all right, now you're Zelda and she doesn't fight, but you can pretty much like use the enemies to fight against other enemies, and then the whole puzzle aspect, everything was cool. Really,
Yeah,
really enjoyed that game. The dungeons were fun.
it felt
You
like a
know.
really good mix of like a game like Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the
Hmm.
Wild, but like also like going back to like the 2D games.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
really nice mix. Um
It's just a
yeah, I
beaut
felt
of a
like there
game.
was just what's that?
It was just a beaut of a game.
Yeah.
Good game.
Um, so how kind of off the video game topic and just curious, like how is Florida? Like how are you liking Florida? Because I haven't
Dude,
seen you in quite a while.
I love Florida. Have you heard what I'm doing down here yet?
You're playing with snakes.
Dude, I work at a zoo now.
I know, I saw. That's so cool. Armin sent me a picture of you with like a big, what was it, boa constrictor? Let me see if I
It
can
was
find
it the big yellow one?
I
It was
think
probably
so.
it was probably a reticulated python, like a big like freaking 8-footer or 10-footer or something like that. Dude,
Right.
I work as an entertainer down here. So basically, I do like animal shows and stuff like that a couple times a day. It's just a lot of fun, dude.
That's awesome.
We
That's
right now a lot of people are on like not spring break, winter break and stuff. So we have like so many people at the zoo. Like each one of my shows has like 130, 140 people like sitting in the crowd.
wow.
It's so awesome.
That is awesome.
I
We're
just like
when
what's
what's that?
that?
Oh, I was saying when I asked Vinny a couple weeks ago like what you were doing now, and they were telling us about he was telling us about the zoo stuff. I was just like, so no soda jerk, no food truck, like you were talking.
Yeah, maybe that might be in the works. I don't know. I'm enjoying my time at the zoo though. That's for sure. We I don't know. This was just one of those things that like when I was looking for jobs, I was just like, just for shits and gigs, why not apply? You know? And then I just landed there and I love it, man. So fun.
I have
We
a
were-
friend up here who works, or he worked at a zoo up here,
Mhm.
and he told me about how he accidentally almost let like 2 rhinos out of the enclosure. So
No,
like
that's
it was
good.
like, oh yeah, it didn't sound great. I love telling this story because like I think it's so funny. he left the gate like slightly ajar when he went to grab their food, and one of the babies got like eager and like just nudged at the door. The fence gate thing that he had left open, like just ajar or whatever, he pushes it forward and then follows my buddy out, and my buddy's just like, oh no. And so now there's like two of them like in it's like a garage, and outside on the other side of this garage door is a main road. And so, you know, he kind of just shakes the food bowl and gets him back in the thing. But I think before that, he like he calls somebody over his radio, and he's just like, "Hey, could you get to the rhinos?" And they were like, "Yeah, is there an issue?" He's just like, "Yeah, there might be." Like,
yeah, you want to come on down here and take a look?
Yeah, they're like, explain. He's just like, just get over here.
Yeah, that's not something we can talk about over the radio. Yeah, I haven't had, thankfully I haven't had really anything crazy like that happen. I did have one time we were walking in one of the buildings, and we were walking past one of the snake enclosures for like a ball python. And I was like, talking to my coworker, I go, hey man, I go, that ball python was in its enclosure before, right? And he goes, yeah, because it's not there now. And the room we were in is like a big, I don't want to say it's like a cafeteria style, but it's a big room, and there's a lot of stuff in there for storage, so boxes and stuff like that. So we had like a little mini heart attack because like the snake's gone. We can't find the snake. Have no idea where it is, and there's like probably hundreds of boxes in here that it could be in. So we're like, oh crap. I don't want to let anybody know, like, we lost a snake on our watch. We're sitting there, we're just like scrambling, trying to find the snake in any box that we could. And then I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, all right. I go, it's a ball python, it's a snake. I go, it's probably going to want to find someplace that's small, dark, and warm. So I was like, just for shits and giggles, let me lift up his enclosure and see if he's underneath there. And sure enough, I lifted up, and he was underneath there. I was like, oh, thank God. But like for like a solid like 15 minutes, we were kind of freaking out. Like, we're never gonna find the snake in these sea of boxes here. And thankfully, he was just like underneath his enclosure instead of being, you know. But we
couldn't actually get out.
Yeah, no. So he was basically it's like a plexiglass sliding glass window in this enclosure. So you slide it on one side, then you can open it up. So he had like squeezed himself out between the plexiglass and the edge of the enclosure, and then he got out that way. Oh crap! So we had to fix, put him in a different one. But yeah, like that was just like a little mini heart attack we had. But yeah, nothing a rhino or anything like that. But so, but it's fun, man. It's fun. Florida's just a good time. You know, it's warm all the time, which is great. You know, we did have some cold weeks a couple weeks back. It even snowed in North Florida, which has never happened before. But I'm in Central Florida, so that didn't happen. So, but yeah, it's a good time. I'll let you guys know when I'm coming back to Syracuse. Haven't had anything planned as of yet, but I'll let you guys know. But anyways, Vinny, what else you got?
Not much. I mean, could ask what the first game they ever played was.
Oh yeah, why didn't you do that? What was the first game you guys ever played? Fond memories. Brittany, you're new to this.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out, like, as an adult, or like in our life, or like
in your life. What was the first game you ever played?
In my life, I think the very first game that I ever played was Crash Bandicoot.
First one?
Yeah.
Damn, it's a hard game.
Yeah, and what came out on PS1, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That was the first game I ever played, and then I stopped because I was like, oh, I'm too cool for video games, you know? I was that person that was like, no, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna be that person.
Yeah?
Yeah, and as I've gotten older, it's just like, you know what, pretty game. Video games are actually pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think I officially picked up playing video games with Hogwarts. Was it? I don't remember. No, it was Pokemon with the Switch.
I was gonna say there's a couple of years where you were playing Switch before I got your PS5.
Yeah, so
You
I was
know,
I
you
was
know, it'd be
doing.
a it'd be a fun thing for you to do. Go back and play the Crash Bandicoot collection.
Oh, I've tried. I can't do it now. I don't know how I did it as a kid because like we used to play Crash Bandicoot and like Sonic and Spyro and stuff like that, and like now I can't, and I don't know why. But I
You
can
can't
play it.
because like you're just not into it, or like it's just too hard.
I tried playing Sonic Colors.
Hmm.
Was that what you got me? Yeah,
Yeah,
a couple
Colors.
years ago, and I couldn't do it, and I don't know why. I just could not sit through it, I guess. Maybe it just didn't hold my attention like Avatar and stuff does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tried doing like the old school games again as an adult, and they're not as fun anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens. I'm trying to think of the last game that I went back and played that was like old school for me.
Kind of on the same thing with like going back and playing old school games. Armin brought over Tomb Raider like recently.
Oh,
Going
yeah.
through that. Man, that was rough. Like
Yeah.
I was not good at that at all. Like that took some time. I think he ended up. So it was weird because if I get mad at a game, I will like get super glued to it. So when he left that night and like took the game home with him, I was just like, shit. So like I got on my computer and actually emulated the PS1
Yeah.
one instead. That way I learn it like the way it was supposed to be played, I guess.
Yeah. Man.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Some of those old school games, like I know the technology wasn't there back then, but man, you would play them back then. You're like, this is awesome, and it's like tank controls on Resident Evil. You're like, this is awesome. This is the best. And then you go back and play it like nowadays, and you're like, tank controls fucking suck. Why can't I move like I want to be?
Yeah,
Why can't I move like I want to move? You know?
I think
I think
even the
compared
modern...
to. Sorry,
Oh, go ahead. You can go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think compared to like most modern control schemes, it's so outdated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that was probably like a little bit of technology, but also maybe intended purposes there. Like, oh yeah, you got zombies chasing after you, but you shouldn't feel like you can run away. You know, we want you to be afraid every time there's a zombie on the screen, not because it's scary, but because you probably won't get away. Yeah, I don't know.
It works for Resident Evil, I feel like, but that what was it, Mega Man Legends? Like, come on, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, Mega Man Legends, fucking wild game. Mega Man
Why
64.
do you have a platformer series with tank control? Like, what? Why?
There's a big fan base for that game. I know people that still love that game. Give me Mega Man with a hat. I don't want.
Yeah, well, there's a fan base for Death
Casual.
Stranding too, and I'm sure Vinny will tell you, like, no, it's not a good game.
Nope.
Oh man. Vin, what was the first game you played?
Oh god. Oh, probably a Mario. I'd like the Super Nintendo or the NES, one or the other.
My first was a Mario. It was on the Atari. It was like the Super Mario Brothers.
God, that game. The arcade-looking game.
Yeah, my mom had an Atari, so like once she found out like, oh, like he likes the Atari, like they went out and bought me an N64 like not too long after that.
Nice. Yeah, for me it was Sonic 2. Sonic 2 was the first game. My dad had bought a Sega Genesis for himself. and then it just like became mine. So I think I was like 3 or 4, playing with a big old gamepad, you know. And I remember I used to call
the Sega Genesis controller.
Oh yeah, dude, the 3 button, the 6 button
Yeah.
was great too. I learned to
I
appreciate
had
the 6 button more when I was growing up.
Yeah, I had the 6 button, and I had Mortal Kombat 3, and man, as a kid, I actually hated Mortal Kombat because like it was so hard to beat, like past like the third, you know, level of the tower.
Yep.
So I would just get frustrated, and my sister didn't ever want to play, so yeah.
You know what I would do as a kid with the Mortal? I remember trading. I think it was the first Sonic the Hedgehog. I had gotten the first Sonic the Hedgehog, and I traded for Mortal Kombat 2 on the bus to this kid named David Truesdale, who was in my class. And I remember bringing it home and like playing Mortal Kombat 2 and being like, "Wow, this is crazy!" Like, you know, punch people's heads off and eat people's heads. This is nuts. But what I used to do, because I never knew any of the fatalities, because this is back in the day when you didn't have internet in your home. Like my mom would like look up like codes for me like at her job and like print them off and bring them home to me because we just didn't have internet at home. So I remember she like looked up cheat codes and stuff like that, and I never knew any of the fatalities or anything like that. So what I would do is I would just go into the tower and like set it on hard or something like that, and I would let the computer beat me up just so I could see the fatalities. And I'm like, all right, cool, I saw a Sub-Zero fatality after level 1, awesome. And then I would like reset the game and go back into the tower just so I would have a different person I would fight and like hopefully see that fatality. And like I remember doing that for hours as a kid. Be like, oh man, finally I saw a Johnny Cage one. That was awesome. And then I realized Johnny Cage's fatality was like stupid easy to do. And then like once I learned that, then it was all there from there. Gaming's fun time. Ooh, what's the worst game you guys have played?
Oh boy.
One that you were like, I can't even.
I want to hear Vinny's.
Oh boy. No, you can go. You can go.
Oh,
I got quite a few. I have a fucking bucket list of absolute dog shit games I played.
I gotta think about it for a split sec. I know that there's one I don't.
But if you want like the worst one, oh boy.
Well, being a trophy hunter, you play a lot of. We do play a bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to be like reasonable because it's like I could name any 49-cent game that I've ever played.
I think the worst one I've ever played was Adam's Venture. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, that's up there. Worst game I've ever played. Oh boy.
There's also that game Mages. That one's pretty rough.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't appreciate it as a kid because it was just like ridiculously hard. But I see like the concept behind it. But there's only ever been 2 games that I've ever rented and then immediately took back like the next day because like it was just either too hard or I was just too frustrated with it. Only 2 games, and this is back in Blockbuster days, right? First one was Maximo on the PS2. That game was hard as shit. And I remember renting it thinking like, oh, this is really, really cool. Like, he plays this guy who's a knight, and he's fighting like skeletons and stuff. This is awesome. And I remember it just being like ridiculously hard. And I remember telling my dad, I was like, Dad, dude, like, we got to go back. Like, I just can't play this game. Like, I need to return it. And then I returned it and rented it for Stuntman, which was the worst idea. Because that game was also ridiculously hard.
I didn't really like Stuntman.
And I was just like, Dad, we got to go back. And he's like, no, you got to keep it for the week. I'm like, Dad, I cannot keep it for a week. He's like, I'm not taking you back. So it was like the worst week of gaming for me. Just Maximo into Stuntman, just like that. Rough. But I understand the concept and I know what they were trying to do. But man, the timing was so tight on those Stuntman games, and Maximo was just fucking crazy. But I bet you if I go back and try and play Maximo, I bet you I do all right. But you got to remember, I was like 11, 12 at that time. So I think those two stick out in my mind for me.
I was actually just talking about this game today at work, but one that I think is pretty bad because it takes itself too seriously, and I don't think it's trying to be funny, is a Murdered Soul Suspect.
Yeah, I didn't like that game. It's definitely not like
so
the
bad.
worst game I've ever played, but it's bad. It's up.
It just stuck. It sticks out in my brain as one of
the
bad games I've played.
That's one I always see, and I'm like, sometimes it's like on sale or something like that. I'm like, maybe, and then I just continue living my life and decide not to do it.
It's like, it's such a good question because I have a list, especially of series. Yeah. Like, I love Flat Out, but fucking Flat Out 3 is terrible. Flat Out 4 sucks too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot it right now. Death Stranding's a pile of garbage.
I knew that was coming.
Big Rigs Over the Road, that might actually be the worst game I've ever played.
That's the one that says you're a winner.
You're a winner. You're a winner.
Yeah.
And the other truck that you're racing against never leaves the starting line half the time.
Yeah, I do remember that.
It gets to the end and it stops before the... So you can't lose. If you lose, you broke the game.
You're a winner, dude.
You're a winner.
You're a winner.
God, Mortal Kombat Advance was trash.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
I do so many. Almost every NES game I've ever played.
Oh, wow.
Not Hong Kong 97.
I never played that. I probably should. I heard that's pretty bad.
I mean, the easy target is Bubsy 3D.
But shit, most of the Bubsy games are terrible. 3D is the worst though.
Oh, you know, what was a really bad 3D game was Earthworm Jim 3D.
Yeah, that was rough.
And
also, my bad. I was muted when you guys were talking about it, but my first video game is technically 3 games because I kind of played them at the same time. Because I grew up with my parents being gamers, so they had game consoles like when I was super young. But my 3 first games were Sonic 1, Link to the Past, and Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Oh.
Yeah. Because they had my grandparents were... my grandfather actually worked for Coleco. And so they had a bunch of stuff for that, but my grandfather ended up getting a Genesis when I was like really young, like 2 or 3. And he gave that to my parents, and then my parents... well, as long as I've existed, they had the Super Nintendo right before that, so they had both when I was growing up. So like when I was literally like old enough to comprehend and like hold a controller, those were the first 3 games I played. And like
those
Kevin,
solid first 3.
Yeah, and like Kevin, Zelda is my favorite franchise. So, and it has been that way since Link to the Past when I was like 3 years old. My favorite is Majora's Mask.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Which I have a giant Majora's Mask tattoo on my throat, so it's
awesome.
Easily my favorite one. That's why I don't even know if you heard me, but I jokingly said boo when he said Tears of the Kingdom was his favorite.
I heard you.
Yeah,
I didn't know if anybody heard me.
That's not a Zelda game.
Boo indeed, boo.
It's nothing.
Game.
It's nothing against the newer Zelda games because I am like an old school Zelda player. Because I mean, Breath of the Wild blew my mind, and I loved that game the first time I played it. I just didn't feel like Tears of the Kingdom had much going for it because it didn't have the wow factor that Breath of the Wild had because it was almost the same game with more stuff added to it. And the only thing that benefited from Tears of the Kingdom benefited over Breath of the Wild is it had a way better story, but I just think everything else about it was either the same or worse because I don't like the main mechanic of Tears of the Kingdom. I preferred the main mechanic from Breath of the Wild, and Breath of the Wild also I just had the WoW factor of like, it's crazy that Zelda can be this kind of game, but I didn't want it. I don't want it to be the kind of game it is moving forward. So I was a little underwhelmed by Tears of the Kingdom. It was like the first Zelda game I was ever like not super excited for because I was just like, I don't really want to play more of Breath of the Wild. So
Yeah.
and and it was the same with Echoes of Wisdom. Not to say that it was a bad game, but I wasn't into it because it was more of the same, like, what kind of weird mechanic that's almost on the crafting. Because I don't really like crafting kind of mechanics or things like that. So when they put that weird mechanic in it, is what lost me. I like that it's a 2D Zelda game again, and it had like the dungeon layouts were really good, and the puzzle solving was good. But I didn't really like the main mechanic of that either because I expected the first time we would ever get to play as Zelda, we would get to play as her being like a badass sorceress or something like she's supposed to be. So it just kind of bummed me out that that's what that was. So the last two, being as big of a Zelda fan as I am, just the last two Zelda games were a little underwhelming in my opinion. That's all.
As a Zelda fan, what do you hope for the next entry in the series?
Anything to be like traditional Zelda games, like
Yeah.
N64 ones, or you know, Twilight Princess or Wind Waker, just something more traditional. Like I'm okay with them wanting to go back and forth and give us stuff like Breath of the Wild 2. That's fine. I just feel like it has to be a little bit more staggered, and my main hope is that that isn't like their idea of Zelda moving forward, because like I love that between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, we did get the Link's Awakening remake, which made a game that I honestly, admittedly overlooked for, well now like almost 30 years. I've continued to overlook that game. I enjoyed it, but it being like an original Game Boy game, it was just the one that I didn't really revisit that much. So it turned like one of my least favorite Zelda games into one of my favorite Zelda games. So I loved everything about it. I liked the art style. I liked everything they were going for, and that's what had me stoked about Echoes of Wisdom until I like played it.
Yeah.
So honestly, my ideal thing, at this point, if I mean, for a new Zelda game, like I said, I would want something traditional like that. But like, I really want a remake of Seasons and Ages in the style of the Link's Awakening remake, because those were like
cool.
Yeah, that would be
those were my favorite handheld Zelda games. So it would be really sick to see, and it would only make sense if something, because those games were pretty similar to Link's Awakening, so it'd make sense if they did that. But and then like a good remake of Majora's Mask would be good, would be fun. Not the bullshit they gave us on 3DS, but
yeah, I like those two.
Because the Ocarina of Time 3DS port is remake is really good, and then Majora's Mask, it's like 70% good until you become Zora Link and you have to go through those god awful controls and like the weird changes they made to some of the masks, and like I don't know, and like the changes in some of the stuff and how you get the things and stuff, and honestly, like I appreciate that it's accessible for new people getting into it, but it's one of those things where like we were talking about with Wind Waker earlier on, like I get it that it's meant to be accessible to new people, but I am a little bit, especially with that being my favorite Zelda game, I am like a little purist whiny bitch when it comes to like the time manipulation mechanic of Majora's Mask. They made it way easier in the 3DS one, and they made the saving not as punishing. So like I don't know, there's something about the original experience that I just like way more about the original Majora's Mask. And also they changed the boss fight. They made the boss fights different, and that kind of bugged me too. Like it made some of them kind of more fun and difficult because like the first two boss fights are pretty dumb easy in Majora's Mask. And
Yeah.
so like those ones I appreciated it, but the two that were already kind of tough on their own, the way that they made the boss fights different for those two just made them frustrating. Like I just remember being stuck on Twin Mold for like an hour just because I didn't know what the hell I had to do because I was just like, why did they change this one so much? This was a good enough boss fight on its own. I don't know. It was weird.
I never played the 3DS versions.
You're not missing much. I mean, other than it just looking pretty on the 3DS, it's an inferior port or version.
I feel like if you're emulating on a PC, there's probably got to be some type of mod out there to restore that, but keep
for sure.
The aesthetics.
Yeah, I would hope so. I would assume by now there definitely is. Because it was one of those games where I was like, because it is my favorite Zelda game, it was one of those games where like, I was super stoked to get that like day one. I was excited that, because like, that tends to be the Zelda game that like Nintendo never wants to touch. So the fact that they even ever bothered remaking it, I was excited for. But anytime they ever do anything with Majora's Mask, it doesn't perform well because they do garbage marketing for it, and then they're like, "See, nobody likes this game," and it pisses me off because it's such a good game, and they don't really give it a fair shot, and they don't really do much with it ever, aside from like putting it on Virtual Console or the Switch Online service, which. If I remember correctly, when they announced like the first batch of Nintendo 64 games, I was like, oh, cool, Majora's Mask is going to be on the Switch. And it was like the last one they put in the first batch. And I was like, of course. So, I don't know. Majora's Mask always gets the shaft by like fans and Nintendo themselves. So,
unfortunate, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, a close second is always Ocarina of Time because N64 is my favorite console of all time. So those two are definitely my
favorite. Man. All right, Ben. What else we got?
I'm still thinking of games I hate.
Yeah, I mean, same. Honestly,
Superman 64 is trash.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
One people hate hearing until they go back and try to play it. GoldenEye and the 64 fucking blows.
Oh, dude, I agree. 100% agree, dude.
Fucking
play
blows.
Perfect Dark.
People are like, what? And it's like, it's all we had when we were younger. Like, you play it now and it's like unplayable. It's just awful.
Hard agree with that one.
Awful.
Yeah, and I don't understand why people still get nostalgia for the N64 and they'll go back and they'll play that and I'm like, just play fucking Perfect Dark. What are you doing?
Perfect Dark. It's a better game.
Way better game.
Speaking of Perfect Dark Zero was pretty trash. I hated that game.
That was pretty trash. Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Yeah.
Pretty trash.
That was really
super disappointing.
I tried to like that. I tried so hard.
I didn't. I played like an hour of it and I threw it on the shelf.
And he's like, nope.
Bro, you just know a bad game when you start playing it. Like half an hour to an hour in, you can dictate if a game just flat out sucks.
Yeah, well, talking about rare titles actually reminded me another one of the first games I ever played was Killer Instinct with my grandparents.
Nice.
That was another one. That was my first fighting game for sure. Like I played Killer Instinct before I ever played Mortal Kombat.
I remember going to, was it a Game Craze? Yeah, it must have been a Game Craze down the street from my house, and they had a Killer Instinct machine. And I never knew that it was named Killer Instinct. I just liked playing it because you could play as a fucking pirate skeleton. And I thought it was the coolest thing. It was like a quarter to play. And I'm like, yeah, this is fucking dope, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember like my grandfather like walking us down there just so I could like play that and like Cruising USA and like all this other stuff. And I remember like us being there for so long, like he was like falling asleep in the corner. Like, good times.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I never really got into any of the other Killer Instincts as much as the original one on the Nintendo 64. Like I liked some of the other ones, like 2 and Gold were all right, and and like the one on Xbox One is pretty solid, but
Yeah.
I've never liked any of them as much as the first one.
That's probably my favorite fighting game is the one that's on Xbox, the 2013 version.
Yeah, it's solid. It's one of those games like I wish I put more time into it, but if they ever put it on PlayStation, I'd definitely put way more time into it.
There's a lot of talks that they might bring it over.
I know. I'm hoping.
It's on PC. It's on Xbox. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're getting Forza, so
Yeah.
that's one of the ones. That's one of the games I'm actually pretty excited for because I forgot I was muted for that talk too. But Forza and Doom Dark Ages are the 2 that I'm like super stoked for right now.
Actually,
Because the Forza games are pretty solid. Yeah, because the Forza Horizon games are super solid. So that's a really good win for PlayStation to get from Xbox. Because that was like the one thing where I was like, working at a GameStop, it was just like everybody's like, oh, which one should I buy? And I always say PlayStation because it's got better exclusives. And like the only time I've ever like, hey, if you want a really good racing game, unfortunately you have to play Xbox. But now that PlayStation is gonna have Forza, I'm just like, dude, don't buy an Xbox.
That's pretty much what we say.
and it's nothing. I don't have any petty beef or any console or bullshit with it. It's just they just don't have anything anymore, and it's hard to like be like stoked for anything that they're doing. I just don't care. And and especially with Game Pass just being on everything, you don't even need to own the console anymore. So it's like, who cares? So yeah, anytime anybody comes in and like I had a couple today, they were like, oh, we want to play some, like, unless if it's something that's multi-platform, then I'm just like, yeah, I mean, get either or. It genuinely doesn't matter. But they were like, oh, we don't know if we should get PlayStation or Xbox. And I usually jokingly say PlayStation. And then I asked what they want it for, and then they were like horror games. I was like, yeah, get PlayStation, don't buy an Xbox.
Yeah.
So, because
Especially right now.
Xbox doesn't have like any exclusive good horror games. Whereas, Sony's got quite a few right now, so. Yeah. I think yeah, I had both. I got both at launch. I held on to my Xbox for 2 years, the first 2 years of its life cycle. And I've always had all of the current consoles. Like I always had Xboxes, and I never got rid of them until the next one came out. But for this one, I was just like, dude, nothing's coming out for this thing. I don't see a point in having it. And I at one point I downgraded it to the Series S, and then I made it like, because I sold the Series X, and I was like, I'm too much of a gamer. Maybe I should still have an Xbox somewhere in the house. So I eventually got like a Series S as like a living room console for like the whole family to play, and then I still wasn't playing it, and the kids were playing it, so I ended up just moving it to the kids' room, and then now it's permanently
in there.
the kids' console, and then I just never turned back and bought another one because the only thing that I feel like I've missed out on in like the year I haven't had an Xbox is Hellblade 2, and that just seems like a game that's going to come to PlayStation, so I don't really care. And I think the big thing too is if all the rumors are true and we get Halo sometime soon, then like that just opens the floodgates for like us pretty much getting any Xbox game, because that's like, that's like
that was like the Xbox game.
Yeah, that's the Xbox game. That's like Nintendo giving us Mario. It's like anything's possible after we get Halo. So
yeah,
because I mean, for like before, like when I first got rid of the X and I bought back a Series S, it was because I wanted to play Hi-Fi Rush, and then I was like, I only finished the first level, and I never got back to it, and then I got announced for PlayStation, and I was like, I don't know why I bother with Xbox. Yeah. Then I ended up waiting until it came out, and I beat it on PlayStation for the first time because I know I know Vinny's the same way. I don't know who else in the chat is, but I'm also like a big trophy hunter, and I get more satisfaction on the trophies. I started being I was an achievement hunter first on Xbox in like the 360 days, and then when the Xbox One came out, I slowly lost interest, and then like I don't remember what it was, what games they were, but um, there was just like a period in time where like I just ran out of Xbox games that were worth like achievement hunting for. So I got bored and I kind of doubled up on some platinums on the PlayStation just to kill some time and kind of work on my PlayStation trophies. And after I got like 5 or 6 of them in like a couple days, I was like, this is way more satisfying, like seeing the actual platinum trophy instead of because the one thing I always hated about Xbox is like you can 100% a game and then the DLC comes out and then you lose 100% and it's like 90% of the time it's like all the DLC achievements aren't worth it, so you never have that 100% again. Whereas like when you get to the platinum, you have the platinum. It's like you can kind of just move on and not care anymore. So the trophy system is just more of a satisfying thing. So, and that's the biggest thing is now I'm so deep into it that like I don't really I definitely don't want to like play Xbox and like because like I do the same thing. Like I try to be like, oh, I should just have this because like all the good games on Game Pass, and then I would play like a game that's like multi-plat or I know will eventually come to PlayStation. I'll play it for like 20 minutes, and I'm like, no, I'd rather get the trophies. So trophies have kind of ruined my brain into just strictly staying to PlayStation, but obviously all the exclusives and stuff obviously help with that too. So,
you know what, Vin? You know it'd be a fun community roundtable topic discussion. Having you two, Jesse and Vinny, just talking about maybe some of your most prized platinum trophies, but
dude,
also
you want the fucking
strategy. But no. But also your strategy you guys go into when you're trying to hunt for platinums and what you guys can teach beginner platinum hunters. Because not gonna. I got my first platinum here a couple weeks ago. I'm just saying, but I don't have any other platinums aside from one. So
I
wouldn't mind
platinum?
listening. Mortal Kombat 1.
Oh, nice. That's actually a really rare platinum too.
Yeah.
Your first one's a pretty rare one. So
see? So that would be pretty cool for having you guys talking about, platinum trophy hunting and your strategies when you're going into a new game, what your goals are, and tips and tricks for
I'll give
for
you a
newbies.
little insight here, a little insider. The most frustrating platinum trophy I've ever done is fucking Dead or Alive 5.
Oh yeah, I knew you were gonna say that because
so frustrating.
I've attempted it. I've attempted it a couple times and I had to put
that
it down.
survival mode. Oh my
yeah.
dude, I sat here for hours trying not to be cheap, trying not to be the cheap guy. And then eventually it happened, and I sat there and I went, holy shit, I don't know if I'm ever going to go through that kind of shit again. It was so
I don't blame you, man.
Frustrating.
I mean, hats off to you, because that one is a pain in the ass to get.
Just so frustrating, dude. I sat here, I did it, and I was like, holy fuck, dude, never again. Never again will I do this.
I'm looking at the platinum one right now. It's 0.6 players, 0.6% of players that have earned this. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. As long as usually it's like below,
I think the only
1.
Yeah, if it's below 1%, I consider that to be pretty rare. And then if it's under a 0.5, then sometimes I like to go for those just because they're like super rare. I think the only one that's rare, Mortal Kombat 1 on the PS5 is a 0.1. And I think me and Vinny both have that one. Mortal Kombat 11 for PS5.
I never went back and finished it. I started doing it. I got bored and moved on.
That was a pain in the ass to platinum.
Yeah, that was another one. It was just time consuming. Mortal Kombat 1's it's just time consuming.
Yeah, I think my rarest one that it's hard for me to say that I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm 100% proud of it because I know like almost nobody else is gonna get it. But I don't feel as accomplished because I'm just genuinely like good at the game. But I have the Rock Band 4 Platinum. It's a 0.1. I think only like less than 2,000 people in the world have that platinum or something like that. Something crazy. And and the number has not gone up since I've got it. And I got it 2 years ago. It's pretty tough platinum. I know that's the rarest one I have. And then my second rarest one that I am proud, like, pretty proud of, is Sonic Forces. Because one, I sat through Sonic Forces, and two, the times necessary to S rank every single challenge and level in the game were like Guinness Book of World Record times, and it was so annoying. And I remember there were some levels where it was just like I would fuck up like the first jump or the first grind rail part and just be like, nope, run it again. And there was some levels where I was trying like retrying like 30, 40 plus times. There's like some levels where I had to like redo it for like 3 hours until I nailed it to the point where like I got it. And all the S rank times I literally beat by like split seconds or barely a couple seconds. They were pretty tough. And generally pretty good at the Sonic games. Like I have quite a few of Sonic's Platinums, but that one was by far the hardest one that I've done that isn't Rock Band. Because Rock Band is one of those things where it's like, well, if you're good at rhythm games and if you're good at Rock Band itself, it's not that hard of a platinum. You just have to be able to play all the instruments on expert, and then there's like a couple like 100%, like a handful of songs in a row is like the most annoying trophy in the game. I think you have to 100% like 5 songs in a row in a set list. But I think that was, yeah, so that one I don't really consider that to be that hard. And then like I guess one that isn't rare that it is hard that I'm proud of are the Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 platinums, because those are pretty tough.
And see,
and the Puyo Puyo Tetris games, I have 1 and 2 platinum.
Fucking
and those,
frustrating.
Oh, dude, so frustrating, and I'm so glad I have them.
See, Vinny, mark it down. This should be a topic.
You can make it a topic. I don't mind.
And then we should get folks that, like me, who has 1 platinum, folks that have no platinums, you know?
Oh, like you said, man, it's just something. It's satisfying hearing the noise and then seeing the trophy on the top right corner of the screen.
And now on PS5 with the update, it does a little dance for us too.
Yeah, it does a little dance now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I will admit I was pretty amped when I finally got that platinum though.
Yeah, it's a good platinum to get. That one's tough.
The last trophy I needed was completing a
grinding the cameos. Oh, I thought you were gonna say grinding the cameos, because that one's.
Yeah, I had the cameos, but doing the Titan battle, I had to wait like 4 weeks for the Titan battle to come up.
Oh yeah. Isn't that the reason why you didn't platinum it, Vinny? You
just didn't do the seasonal thing? I got sick of waiting, so I just moved on.
Yeah.
I'd probably do it now that like the new characters are out, and I could probably just play one of the new characters and make it interesting.
Yeah. The literally the like within the first hour they dropped that for the first time, and I knew it was going to be seasonal. I did it immediately because I was like, I'm not waiting, because it sucked to wait. What was it, like a month and a half after the game came out?
It was something like that.
It just that was the first time. That was the first time I ever grinded for a platinum, and I couldn't get the platinum like that when I earned it, you know, pretty much. So I was like, damn, I can't believe they're really gonna make me wait for this platinum.
Yeah,
that one sucked.
When I had to grind the cameos, it was like, I think there was like 2 double XP weekends like back to back. So I just went into invasion mode and just like picked.
Did you grind that one level where you were just like uppercut them with like, I think it was Baraka? That's what I did. There was like one mission where you could just uppercut a bunch of enemies. It was like 3 enemies. All you gotta do is uppercut them 3 times in a row. The 3rd time you'll get a brutality, and then you just get like max experience for doing that.
Yeah, I did that a while ago, like just try to level up like Reptile. But I was just running through invasions because I was like unlocking stuff. And you know, and then they changed it too, where you couldn't replay levels and get the max experience.
I heard about that.
You would get like a ton of experience after you beat like one that there's like 3 enemies you have to fight in it.
Yeah.
Or like doing a tower. But if you wanted to go back and do it again, you would get like very minimal experience for doing it.
Yeah, I have two buddies that are trophy hunters, and they didn't get to the platinum right away themselves, and they started doing the grind for that after that update, and I was like, oh, that sounds rough. And I remember they told me it took them like almost 80 hours to platinum the game because of that update.
Yeah,
Whereas
I got a lot of hours, but
yeah, dude, because before that update, like I think I got that platinum in 30 hours.
Yeah.
So doing that before that patch definitely made that a little bit more tolerable, because just doing that alone for doing that over and over again, I had to do that for 10 hours.
Wild.
Yeah, I was like, can I be done with this? The whole time I was like, so yeah, I would just throw some music on, and like, because I think you have to do it with what, like 5 cameo characters, right? I would get on,
Yeah, it was
I'd get
5.
on, I'd throw on some music. It'd take me like 2 hours to do one. I'd do one, and then I put it down for the day, and then so over the course of 5 days, I did 10 hours of that. It was a miserable time. The only other time that has been more annoying than that is I remember when Persona Strikers came out. I had to grind the same boss for 20 hours to get like the max like the group experience. You had to get them up to level 99, and the fastest way to do it was to like grind out this dragon boss that was in the game, and I had to do that for like 20 hours to get the platinum. But I will say that was a 20-hour grind over one weekend. I did it for way too long and too short of a time. I got burnt the hell out. But I will say that the one cool thing about it is I think I was the 39th person in the world to platinum that game. So I was like, I'll take that. That's something.
Yeah,
I
top
feel
50.
I feel somewhat rewarded. So yeah, if you go to PSN profiles and look at the top 50 people that platinum that game, I'm on there. And it's same for Persona 5 Persona 5 Royal. It's I'm in the top 50 for that too, because I platinum that game in like uh I played it for like pretty much 4 days straight with only like 3 hours of sleep in between the days.
Yeah, I definitely say with Mike because I would love to pick you guys' brain about it. And
yeah.
You know what also would be cool too, Vinny?
Huh.
If
What?
you could find a game that has a somewhat easy platinum and you guys like play through it on stream.
That's easy.
You know?
We could do that.
And be like, all right, here's the method and here's it put into practice, you know?
Mm-hmm. That'd be fun.
That would be cool.
Wouldn't mind it.
I'd watch that.
I think you do too, Vinny, but like I have enough like cheesy platinums in my library where we could get like a platinum every like 10 minutes.
Oh yeah. I haven't done as many as you, but I know all about those games.
Watch how easy this is, guys. Here's a great starter one if you want.
What you do is you go to your local game store and buy a $20 gift card.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And then you buy $20 worth of 99-cent games.
Yeah. Here's how to get 100 platinums in 10 hours.
Yeah. What do you do in this game? You hold R1.
Yeah.
It's funny because when I'm scrolling through my PlayStation store and it tells you who's played the game, every single one, Jesse. One time Armin yells from like the other room, I'm in the kitchen, he's just like, yo, who the fuck is Jesse? Like, he's played every game.
Yeah.
And whenever I'm like super bored or like I just want one, I'll fucking buy a dollar game.
Yeah, same.
Just do it. Whether it's a visual novel or some stupid clicker game.
Yeah, I try not to anymore. Like I try to keep that like far and few between.
Yeah.
But especially lately. But yeah, every once in a while there's like there's like $3 in your wallet and you're like, what fucking cheesy platinum can I buy today?
Yeah, what dumb shit can I spend $3 whole on?
Yeah, because I actually did that like 2 or 3 days ago. I bought that like it's like Blackberry Honey or whatever it's called. It was just a visual novel. You could just skip through it in 3 minutes and get 2 platinums because you get the PS5 and PS4
Yeah.
version.
And then
And
you
there's
guys
some
should,
bad
after you guys have demonstrated how easy a platinum can be to get, you should get someone like Brittany to try and get her first platinum.
She has 2 already.
She's got 2 already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Yeah, I platinumed Hogwarts
Wait.
Legacy and
Oh, that's right.
It
You did
Takes
say
Two.
that.
Yeah, we
Oh,
did
that
It Takes
game's
2 last weekend.
Yeah.
Amazing game.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you're playing with a trophy hunter, then it's stressful.
Yep, that's why Eric stopped playing it with me.
Oh, man.
But yes,
Well, we should
it's
find
a
some.
good game. It's a cute game. Definitely
Yeah,
recommend.
I was playing through it with my son. It's pretty fun.
I also forgot, because we trophy hunted on it, I forgot about the secret, like, Zelda area that's in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I completely forgot it was in there, because, like, I played it for the first time, like, 4 years ago when it first came out with my best friend, and then when me and Brittany were playing it again last weekend, I was like, I saw the trophy image and it, like the name of the trophy, it was like a Zelda reference, and I was like, why do I not remember this trophy? And then we went to the room that popped the trophy. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot this was even in the game. Because well, Kevin, you would appreciate this, but there's like a little hidden room in It Takes Two where it's like a 1-to-1 replica of in It Takes Two style, obviously, of the room you could walk into when you first get to the Hyrule Castle. That first door you can walk into, where it's a bunch of pots and the boxes with the Skulltula in it, and then there's like the guard, and there's like
Oh shit.
yeah, all the jars you can smash to get a shitload of rupees. That you hit the room a couple times, you got max rupees. Yeah, that room, there's like a little secret room in It Takes Two where it replicates that room, and it's really awesome. And I forgot it was in the game until I went and did it again.
Man.
I'd be down to do that.
All
That'd
right.
be a fun idea.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that'd be a one you could do a community roundtable into a side stream,
Yeah.
Here's how you do it, and now we'll demonstrate.
I guess Vinny's main goal right now is hitting 999, right?
Yeah. Took a break from platinums and just trying to finish some games up and then go back up.
Yeah, that's fair.
Too many fucking games to play, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, you didn't platinum it yet? And I go, nope, I beat it and I moved on to 2 other games.
Right.
I'll go back to
Same.
it later when I want to deal with it.
Yeah, for sure. I do that from time to time too. I'm just like, I don't really want to put another 30 hours into this game that I just beat for a platinum.
Just like, it'll come eventually. It'll happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless I don't like the game, which does happen.
Yeah, which does happen, or at least not enough to like replay it or go for the platinum.
Like I loved Metaphor. I can't sit through it again to get the proper ending. I just can't do it.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a very long game.
I'm just like, I had fun. I'll watch the real ending, and I'm satisfied. And that's all that matters. I've done that one too many times. It's like, hey, this game went from being 40 hours to 220.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you know what? I don't care that much.
Diablo 3 is kind of notorious for that, because you have to do like the 500 quests or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, who the fuck wants to do that?
I think the worst one I remember it was Mortal Kombat 9.
Oh, that one.
Oh yeah,
where you had to like
gain mastery of all the characters.
Yeah, and it takes. I don't even remember how long it actually takes.
You have to play it for at least 24 hours with every character.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they were wild for that one.
Yeah.
I can't say, like, Street Fighters is also up there as being fucking annoying.
Oh yeah, I always forget about it, but that bullshit, that one trophy in Skater XL.
Oh yeah, That kept me from
the
the platinum.
total distance of the world.
It kept me from the platinum because I saw how long it takes to do it.
It's like
And
1,000 plus.
And then there's like people that have found ways to glitch the game, and I tried it, and it was just so frustrating. I was like, you know what? This isn't worth it.
Yeah.
Because like this dude has a really good detailed video on how to glitch it, but you have to do so many specific things and specific spots on specific items.
It's not even a good game.
No, it's dog shit, dude. Skate's a way better game.
Yeah.
Just go play fucking Skate.
Right. For sure.
Same thing with the other one, that Sessions game. That game's
That game sucks.
awful.
Yeah. Dude, I finished the tutorial and I was like, uninstall.
I remember everybody was hyping that game up, and I played it, and I went,
oh,
this,
dude.
This is terrible.
Dude, I was excited. I bought it day one.
It was called
Session.
Sessions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was not good.
No. Hell no. Skatebird was better than that game.
Hell yeah, dude.
Fucking
Skateboard was fun. Hell yeah, dude.
Tony Hawk with a little parakeet on a skateboard.
Yeah, dude. little janky, but it was fun.
Yeah. Fucking, what's the other one? Ollie Ollie and Ollie Ollie 2.
Oh, yeah, those are fun still,
too. Let's go play those.
Yeah.
And have you played Ollie Ollie World? That one's
yeah,
really
Ollie Ollie
fun,
World
too.
was really good.
Yeah, those are good games.
It's almost like they can't make a skateboarding game anymore. We'll see what this Skate, whatever they're apparently making is.
Yeah, when it comes out in 17 years, yeah.
Yeah, it will be like 50.
For sure.
Hey man, I finally got that platinum on the PlayStation 9 for Skate. Yeah, it was fun, wasn't it? Fuck no, EA still sucks.
I bet that game would be $100 by then, full price.
Yeah, what's up, dude?
Yeah, probably.
Actually, I could have you in on that platinum thing. You can platinum fucking Soul Reaver in one sitting, can't you?
Yeah.
You might borrow.
It might take me some time. Give me about like 6 hours. Yeah.
I'm one trophy away from having 1-1-1-1-1.
Oh, fellas, I hate to be that guy, but I gotta
Fucking
call it a night.
Oh, to be that guy that asked Vinny if he has Battletoads in stock? Yeah.
Go the fuck away.
My kid just wants Battletoads. Come on now.
No, they don't.
Oh, man, I gotta get up
Alright.
at 6, so I'll go to
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on, guys.
This was
Of
fun.
course.
It's always fun. It's always
Thank you
fun
for having
getting new people on here.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for having
Yeah.
us.
Yeah,
Anytime.
have to get you back on soon. Maybe we'll try to go back to doing every other week. The weather has just been such a fucking pain in my ass. It's just not possible.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
Fucking-
just keep doing the snow dance.
Fucking looking out the window and seeing my car have another 5 inches of snow on it. Unreal.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah, Rick, you're missing out over here.
No, I ain't missing out. Oh, thanks.
No, I definitely take that platinum idea into consideration. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
this is how it happens, Vinny. You just sit here, we're bullshitting, and then all of a sudden we're labbing it out, and then it comes to fruition. There it is.
We fucking bullshitted for a while at dinner that night.
Yeah.
This is how we used to do it at the shop, man.
Yep.
Sitting there, bullshitting, boom, there you go.
Yep. Just sitting there
Community
and
roundtable becomes a
talking,
thing.
and then it's like, hey, that's a good idea. Let's do it.
Boom, then you go. Hot
We do
sets,
it.
boom.
Kind of like every other idea we had.
Uh-huh.
Like buying Battletoads.
You know what? I'm sick of your tone. Fucking freak.
You know what's also a great idea? You streaming your favorite game of all time, Death Stranding.
Well, it's funny because if you look on the bottom of the screen, there's this thing that says followers, and if you're not following, the fuck are you doing? Because I ain't ever touching that trash until you guys get me to 500.
How many you got?
445.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, you're pretty close there. And you got a
Yep.
platinum that game too.
Nope, that's
Oof.
just to play. You want me to platinum it? I want like $500.
Wait, you're about to
Done.
do this for if you get 500 followers?
Yeah, I'll force myself to
Versus-
play my least favorite game in the last fucking
His
10
most
years.
favorite. Most favorite.
You'll get
Oh,
the full blown
jeez.
experience of me yelling at the screen, telling you why Kojima's games fucking blow. And I'll just
Okay,
stare
guys,
at
so
the.
we're
I'll
gonna
just.
gather
I'll
up
just.
500 bucks.
I'll just stare at the Monster Energy can on the screen for an hour because that's the best part of that fucking game.
All right, come on, guys. We got to get this to 500.
We gotta get $500 as well from the platinum. All of us are gonna pitch in for that.
I don't even know what.
Speak for yourself. I'm broke.
Make it the platinum that makes you hit 999.
Maybe. Yeah. How'd you do it? I played my least favorite game from the fucking PS4, PS5 era. That's how I did it. God, I hate that fucking game.
Oh man.
They fucking greenlit a second one. I can't believe that shit.
He tells us
Did
that he
they really?
hates it, but realistically in his mind, he's like, I can't wait to play that game.
Hell no. Dude, I'd rather play like the newest fucking Barbie game than that pile of dog shit.
What's the newest
Whoa.
Barbie game?
Nice.
Oh, I
That sounds
fucking
fun,
hate
huh?
Death Stranding. I hate that game.
I mean, I put 10 hours into it and I wasn't into it. I don't hate it as much as you do.
Oh, I fucking hate that game.
I just knew I didn't like really. I didn't get it. I guess like I got it, but it wasn't for me.
If
So it's
that
like,
game was a TV show, I probably would like it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Like I respect the idea behind it. Like it's supposed to feel like there's nothing. You have to like make the connections and blah blah blah. But like, yeah, no, there's a whole nothing going on like for too long. So I eventually put it down too, but I don't hate it. And when people ask me if it's a good game, I'm like, it's okay.
I don't answer the question anymore.
you definitely got to be into it to enjoy it. Like I definitely think it's a very divisive game, and you either love it or hate it, and clearly you hate it.
Oh, I fucking despise that game.
Yeah, I actually only know one person that platinumed it. I was kind of surprised that he sat through it.
Well,
Even being a fan of the game, I'm surprised he sat
You
through it.
didn't platinum it?
The thing is, like,
Me, no.
with his games, like every other game Kojima made, I did like, but it's literally every other fucking game.
Yeah, I never got into any of his games either. So
Like Metal Gear, like every other Metal Gear, I liked it. It was good. It was fine. And then Death Stranding, I was like, no, this isn't it. This is just someone with a over budget to get a bunch of Hollywood actors to make a shit game. That's what this game is. I would have rather had Silent Hills.
yeah, that would have been way better.
But
Yeah, no, Kevin, I didn't even beat the game, let alone platinum it. I couldn't sit through it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think I put 10 hours into it, and then I found out it was like a 50-hour game. I was like, I'm good.
yeah.
Oh, sad.
Vinny heard that they're making a Death Stranding too. And he's like, "Oh my God, Kojima, let me lick your toes. Oh, I'm so fucking happy. Oh yes, my favorite game of all time is
What the
getting
fuck are you
getting a sequel."
going on about?
All right, I do gotta get going though. So
Yeah, it's almost 11. I gotta go clean more
All
snow
right,
off my
guys.
car.
Good chatting with you guys.
absolutely,
too.
it's good to see you. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Take care. Have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.
Peace.